Hi everyone, it's me Sally, aka SailorTarot Magic, and I have an announcement today. So as you know, I am planning the Valentine's videos for singles only, the tarot reads, and in the duration of my planning, there was a little bit of a snag. So let's talk about that since I'm all about transparency. So the oracle cards that I normally use are these Romance Angels oracle cards by Doreen Virtue. And I'm choosing not to use them, and I will explain why. So I found out two things. The first with this was the fact that it's a counterfeit copy. So I found this out because a number of things. So number one, the back of it has a QR code for the guidebook. And while there are some legit decks that use a QR code for the guidebook, I went to this and it was a Google Drive and there was all these guidebooks for all these different things, which I thought was strange, but I was like, whatever. But then I started reading an article talking about knowing if you have a counterfeit deck. So there's no ISBN, there's no UPC, there's no copyright on this on the box. The box is like flimsy itself. The cards are decent, but the fact that I've used these for not only tarot videos, and I haven't used them on all of them, but I've also brought it with me to flea market events. So that made me feel some type of way, like there's like bad juju there because the original artist and the original creator are not getting profits from these counterfeit copies. And this shit is running wild. And I just discovered this and I was like, oh my gosh, like I can't be using this to give people messages. It just doesn't feel right. And I know like I'm the type of person who likes to keep it light during my readings, but I do take my craft very seriously. And every message that I give to people, I don't take that lightly. So I do research on all of my decks. If I'm drawn to a deck, that means something. If I use a specific artist's cards, that means something to me. So the fact that I found this out was kind of like a red flag to me. And I'm all about it, authenticity, so I wanted to announce this. So in case questions arise, I did find a new oracle deck that I will use on the Valentine's tarot videos. So the other thing you might be asking is, why don't you just get a legit copy of these? So glad you asked. So then the other layer of that story is Miss Doreen Virtue. Now she's very well known in the New Age community. So if you know, she recently left the New Age community to join a church. And that alone sounds like no big deal, right? However, she came onto her channel and said that she denounces everything that she has done in the New Age community. She feels like she misguided people and feels really guilty that she was not doing God's word. Now, without getting too much into the religious, because I know being in different tarot communities and New Age communities online, I know that there are many that follow church and do tarot, and they can coexist. And that was new to me. Not my path, but I respect those that have that path. This is not what she was doing. She basically wants to erase that whole part of her life and begin anew in a church. And in this video, there was somebody else in the church saying that everything that she did was from sin and greed. And that just didn't sit well with me. Like, you cannot just erase this whole part of your life. And I feel like when you try to do things in absolutes, that's when there's a problem. I'm all about balance and coexisting. She could have very well just went to the church and not had to denounce her books and her cards. You were led to that path for a reason. So why would you regret that and say all these things when you know you have helped people? So that didn't sit well with me, and I feel like I can't use this deck or her deck or whatever knowing that she doesn't stand behind it anymore. It doesn't feel right. And it's already taking me so long to feel confident in this position, to know that somebody is like talking down to like everything that she has done. It just doesn't sit well with me. So that was kind of like, okay, let's talk about this, because I never really have. And again, it's taken me a long time to be public with this. So that means a lot to me. I need to be able to agree and stand behind the artists and the people that make the decks. And to hear what she said about tarot, it was very upsetting to me, where it's like, yeah, I can't be using your cards. So I'm doing this video because very similar to what I would do for a lunar ritual is we're going to release this deck because it's bad juju on top of bad juju. Not only are they counterfeit, but it's also coming from an artist who no longer wants to be part of the New Age community. And it's sad to me. I mean, you know, this served its purpose for what I needed, and it was part of my journey, and I don't regret that. I'm glad that we're able to talk about this, because not everything is sunshine and rainbows, and that's why I say, even if it's not a great thing to happen, it's part of your path, and that's what she's trying to erase. Like, you know, fine, you want to go to the church, fine, but don't try to erase this whole part of your life. That's something that you needed in that time. Like, that's what doesn't sit well with me. So we're gonna say goodbye to Romance Angels and goodbye to Doreen Virtue, since she's no longer a part of my path on the tarot. Woo! Oh my god. Ooh, sizzling. mama. Ah! Sizzle. And last card.